Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It's a blisteringly hot Thursday afternoon here in South Africa. It got quite hot in the studio where Scooby was having to answer for his sins, or his alleged sins, the translation error. He's not being treated kindly by the British press, and he's claiming that he's feeling very frustrated and feels he's being treated unfairly in this whole business of the Dutch translation error. The irony of feeling frustrated that he's being treated unfairly hasn't been lost on people. Anyway, we're going to have a quick look at the situation, just a warm-up reading. This translation error that the Dutch publishing company, small publishing company, is now just calling an error. They've had to pulp all the books. Of course, the translators involved, very experienced women, both of them. Tumblr investigators have been doing sterling work digging up publishing contracts, and it seems that Scooby was personally responsible for the foreign language translations, not the English language versions of the book. He would have been the one, according to this Tumblr investigator, he would have been the one that would have supplied via his agent the copy to the translators. And apparently also, something that I've noticed, I'm not sure how true it is, so we'll say it's a rumor. It's not just the Dutch version that has this extra information and names. Also the Italian and Spanish versions, and the Spanish publishers have form, of course, with Spare, of allegedly leaking Spare early to try and drum up sales. So Scooby seems to have got himself into hot water with this little stunt, if, as is speculated, it was a stunt to drum up publicity and to leak those names into the public domain without having to run the gauntlet of British libel laws. The royals apparently are considering their options, including legal options, and Harry and Meghan themselves are being urged to take legal action against Scooby-Doo. We're going to look at that in the next reading. But for now, Tarot of Curious Creatures. He is a curious creature. I'm just going to do a 5-card reading with this little tarot deck and see how he is doing. Fluffy has emerged from her boudoir. Actually, no, not her boudoir. She's had a sand bath. She's covered in sand. It's that kind of a day, a very hot day. We're going to have a look at Scooby-Doo and see how he's feeling, whether he's full of confidence or whether he's feeling a bit of a panic. How the publisher is feeling in the Netherlands. Are they considering their options? Are they backing him? Are they angry with him? What's going on with them? We're going to check again whether this was by accident, this translation error, this alleged translation error, by accident or by design. We're going to check that again. We have checked it already. We got indications that it might have been intentional, of course, just reading energy. And then the outcome for Scooby-Doo, is he going to get himself into hot water, into legal trouble or any other kind of trouble? So that's where we're heading with these cards. I think we've shuffled enough. And see what the curious creatures want to tell us about a very strange person. Scooby-Doo, is he in the doodoo? Let's remind you, it's tarot for fun and entertainment. It's all speculation. It's all my opinion. Just read energy here, archetypal energy, and disclaimer, of course, in the box below. Let's see what we are dealing with. We are dealing with Three of Pentacles in reverse. That's a collaboration that has come unstuck, a teamwork that has gone awry, that people might be separating themselves from, distancing themselves from. Very interesting. Definitely a collaboration that is unraveling with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So let's see the actual situation that Scooby-Doo is dealing with right now. The Wheel of Fortune. Well, he thinks that this is his lucky break. I suspect from this card, and of course it is just my suspicion, that this is planned. This is something that he was hoping would happen to raise his profile, to raise sales, a stroke of good fortune. So if I suspect that it is intentional, the universe is saying to me, you could read this as just a stroke of very good luck. So let's take it at face value, the Wheel of Fortune, and say that he is very pleased with the way this has played out, whether it's by accident or by design. Wheel of Fortune, he's on top of the world right now. Just thrilled. Obviously, this is going to, it has created enormous interest in the book that otherwise had nothing of value to offer, or anything new, any novelty, any interest. He's a terrible writer. The book would have disappeared without a trace if it hadn't been for this stroke of tremendous good fortune. So what's his mood right now? We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have a team unraveling, or a little co-conspirators perhaps that are falling out, possibly, with that card. But he's thinking this is a good moment. But let's see, how's his mood? Is he beginning to lose confidence, or is he also happy? Yeah, he's not feeling as cocksure as that plastic face might indicate. Grinning, waving to the cameras, posing. He obviously practices his poses like his master and overlord. The Strength card practices as well. We saw her in her practice posing on that red carpet recently. But the Strength card in reverse is somebody who's losing his nerve, a coward, somebody who's afraid, somebody who might also be losing the protection of that overlord. The Strength card in reverse is, of course, Leo, and we have a very famous Leo who's in the mix here, and possibly in the Three of Pentacles energy, who might be withdrawing support. They have gone very quiet in Montecito. Very quiet. Myra on Twitter, for those of you who are aware of Myra and who many people suspect Myra to be, Myra is working very hard and has been recently, since at least the Rugby World Cup, to present herself as a black South African woman, which I find fascinating. So Myra is working very hard to maintain that illusion. Guest speaker in the New York Post comments has gone strangely silent as well. There haven't been any stunts, any pep walks. There's been deathly silence from the overlord. Strength card in reverse. He feels that he's in a weak position. He feels he's vulnerable to attack. And so even though the Wheel of Fortune is sitting there in the dominant position, as this is what the story is about, this is about trying your luck. Really, right now, he's not feeling very confident. Boo-hoo. How about the publisher in the Netherlands? How's the publisher feeling towards him right now? Four of Swords. Wow. That's a withdrawing energy to lick wounds. They feel like they've been burned. The Four of Swords follows the Three of Swords, which is the card of betrayal. And a real hurt, dagger through the heart. The Three of Swords comes the Four of Swords when you withdraw to lick your wounds and heal. A costly experience if they're going to have to bear the cost of this, quote, translation error. But they definitely feel that their reputation has been damaged, which doesn't bode well if they're contemplating legal action. Reputational harm there in the Four of Swords, having to retreat, having to think, because the Four of Swords is very much a terrible thing has happened, your reputation's in the toilet, and now you have to get out of the public eye for a while you contemplate what to do next. How do you fix this situation? You take advice, you think. It's a thinking card. So they are going quiet while they think about what is going on, what has just happened. Possibly consult with lawyers. I'm getting that energy off this Four of Swords. Consider their options, just as the palace has said that the royal family is considering its options, including legal options. So Scooby-Doo, what have you done? Let's see again whether the universe wants to tell us, give us indications of whether this translation error was by accident or by design, the hidden energy of this. We have a card here, Six of Wands. The way it's dressed, the way it's posing, it's the victory card, the triumphant card, the showing off card. The Six of Wands can be very narcissistic. My reading of that card, and this is my expression of energy, my opinion, my interpretation of energy, is that it has come, perhaps the idea has come from Montecito. That's my reading of that Six of Wands. Very much fire sign woman. We've seen that kind of outfit at the funeral last year, or whether it was that the walking outside Windsor with William and Catherine, where they kept the Waleses waiting for an hour and a quarter while Madame, according to Angela Levin, while Madame decided what to wear, and also, rumour has it, while they tried to sober Madame up and get her ready to face the public. But that Six of Wands, for me, is her energy, whether she was complicit or whether it was suggested by someone close to her or whether it was done to please her by the little sycophant to earn his reward. We don't know, but we can speculate, and I am speculating that there was some involvement from that quarter. And of course, this is purely my opinion, pure speculation. Outcome for Scooby-Doo. What are the repercussions going to be? Is it going to be legal action? Is he going to get away with it? Is he going to make his millions? Because everybody's going to buy the book. What's going to happen? Well, it's going to be bad news for Scooby-Doo. The world in reverse. The yoga pose is interesting too, isn't it? We've seen yoga poses before in this context, have we not? Way back when, I think it was the Vanity Fair. No, was it the Vanity Fair? But anyway, the world in reverse is a failure, a defeat, a loss. We've got Six of Wands energy right now, but that's minor arcana. We're getting into major arcana at the card of heavy defeat, public defeat, the whole world seeing you go down. In these royal readings, for me, the world, as I always say, is the public watching something, the public seeing something. The public are going to see the flop of this. It's not telling me legal action, let's ask, although I'm sure we will be looking at this again and again and again and again. Let's ask, is the likelihood of legal consequences for Scooby-Doo of this, whether from the publishers or from the Sussexes or from the royal family, or I don't know who else might be inclined to sue. But let's see. That's at least 3 possibilities, so that doesn't bode well for him. Likely to see a lawsuit, or is it too soon? Are people still thinking? Can be that, no, I can't have all those cards. It can be that people are still considering their options, as is precisely what we have been told. I'm going to go through the cards one more time just to see. It may well be too soon. It's too soon. Lawyers are busy, I would imagine, behind the scenes. Universe doesn't want to tell us yet. Quite understandable. We've got enough to work with here in this reading. We have a little team that's fallen apart here with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. We have someone trying their luck. We have someone feeling very anxious right now, feeling very afraid, feeling quite weak, vulnerable, feeling that they might have lost the protection of somebody who has up until now been very protective of them. We have publishers who are licking their wounds and considering their options and feeling really betrayed, feeling really ruined. A small publishing company, it must be devastating for them financially, apart from anything else, and it is tough times for publishers right now. Never mind those translators who must be feeling absolutely mortified. Very experienced translators. I feel wretched for them. Scooby-Doo's moaning about how unfair it is for him. How about them? Then we have an impetus in the Six of Wands that for me might well be coming from Montecito at some level, and I have to say that for legal reasons, that is purely my speculation, reading the energy of tarot cards. And then the outcome for Scooby-Doo is the World in reverse. That's a big failure, a very big public failure, and it may well be the end of Scooby-Doo's career, because it's the end of a long chapter in his life that he started in 2011, 12 years that he's been at this particular game. But the World in reverse tells me it's over. It's not the first time I've seen that energy doing readings on him as this latest fiasco. So it's just confirming what I've already seen in these cards before. That's your reading. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.